And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This taken in at the goal line. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. And the Chiefs offense now ready to go to work for the first time, led by Patrick Mahomes, the 2018 NFL Most Valuable Player.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be. When you're on the road, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake that brings the crowd into it. Now you're not just battling your opponent, you're battling yourself as well.
Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. And despite injuries like these, Charles, or these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week. Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. We were wondering what they would do defensively to disrupt Patrick Mahomes. Sacking him on the first drive, that's a really good way to set a tone.
The last thing you want to do is let him get established in the pocket where he can set his feet and throw.
But from their own end zone, it's a fake. Oh, but he'll be stopped well short of the first down marker, and it's a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. How about this starting field position? 1st and goal from 2 yards out. Now Mills. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start a first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
2nd down throw from the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Marlon Mack, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. Jerick McKinnon to take it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, Mills. And his throw here's incomplete. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation.
Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And just shedding him off there. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 14-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Houston set to take over. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at the 31-yard line. He'll start by handing this off to Mack. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. On play action, Mills. And this one too low.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mills now. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes on the move to his, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this one is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. The final 4 weeks of the NFL season are upon us, and we got some intriguing matchups in prime time tonight. Patriots and Raiders, that's in Vegas. Josh McDaniels taking on his former employer there. And then Monday Night Football, the Rams and Packers from what should be a frosty Lambeau Field at 8:15 Eastern Time, 7:15 locally there in Green Bay. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right, nowhere to go.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Chris Jones coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Out of the end zone comes McKinnon. And he returns this to the 22. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 22. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader. And quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing. And let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
16 more on that one and another 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 41. 1st and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. 50 yards rushing for him now to this point. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 1:55 left to go in the 1st half of play. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce from 13 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown.
Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. And now out comes Houston. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Mills. And Brate has it over the middle. He's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over here up near the 40.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Former first-rounder Clyde Edwards-Helaire ready to go here. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this 1st half. From the 45 on 2nd down, Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. On the move past the 40. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this 1st half. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll kick things off down in the Bayou. NFC South matchup between Atlanta and New Orleans. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. Deontay Hardy, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, let's head off and check out a 2nd game. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. Daniel Jones throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting Steelers as that game has gone to halftime. Christian McCaffrey, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for KC in that 1st half. And their offense has been in top form so far, especially their passing game, as it's helped push them out to this big halftime lead. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there. These 2 clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the 2nd half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish a running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Trent McDuffie in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Another try after the first down sack. Mills, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Frank Clark coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up fourth.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Mahomes. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
On second down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's got Rome. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 12-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So defensively, just got the hand up too high, and that adds even more yardage to what was already an impressive run.
And as a defender, you're doing what you normally do on any play, just grabbing at anything, trying to get him down. But when you're downfield, you're a little more exposed. They'll get you every time when they see it.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd of the year. And the Chiefs take a 3-touchdown lead.
In order to lead in the game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Butker now to add the extra point. And they fake it. They pitch to the tight end. Oh, nice move. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Looking to throw is Mills. And brought in by Braid. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
On 1st and 10, Mills. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
3rd and long for Mills. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and that will keep the deficit at 20.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through. And that one winds up no good.
Kansas City and Juju Smith-Schuster running out for another series. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 54 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. Mahomes will throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. That one a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the stick.
Pierce has it knocked loose, but I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. The fumble on first down now. Here's 2nd down. And they'll try to throw here. Mills. Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Frank Clark able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Mills from the gun on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick, and the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Mahomes on the give to Edwards-Helaire. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. 75 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 16-yard line.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now here's Mahomes. Flushed out right. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take it look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Yellow, yellow.
Edwards-Helaire diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term, imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And Rodgers has it over on the right side. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The offense on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun, Mills. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call. Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. To throw again on 2nd down, Mills. And Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And now the Chiefs will bring the offense onto the field as they'll go for 2 here. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes has a way of catching up with you.
Harrison Butker to kick off 4 games of city.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Lonnie Johnson picks it. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Mahomes going to leave it with Edwards-Helaire on the draw. 85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. Flush to his right. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. They'll try and throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I know we can sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody that likes someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurting this one. No, okay.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Free kick out of bounds.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure, because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25, so at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Mills on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Well, that would have been something, double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but there he goes left side. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Mahomes now going to lead his guys up for the two-point try. They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
Harrison Butker, kickoff 14-6.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
And the Texans set to come onto the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Looking to throw again on second down. Mills. That's caught by Jackson. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Mills.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Again, it's Mills.
And now here is another interception. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
At the 44-yard line.
And they take a knee.
Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago. And you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely dream scenario for everyone on that offense. And they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Chiefs, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they drop their 10th game now to fall to 4-10. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we were not the ride nobody with, we're the ones who started with it. Translation, Yanni had to buy, Yanni had Yanni hits. This goes so hard, even the ops go with it, That's how you know we live. Grrr,
trust, me taking no loss. We be the hottest on the scene. Gemstones from the dust. Big dog with your leash. Where's the love in the streets? For my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when we ready. Me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already.
I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, For the plank and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking nothing from my boy ain't heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I pick up when I call it. Working big, and it don't hurt the bread, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he leave the know he missed the know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stand on her.
It's Madden NFL 23, and we'll see Drew Lock after his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Seahawks and the Chiefs, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Gaudin joined by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Chiefs in this matchup, they've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Get a look at this Seahawk offense as they come out there. And the quarterback brought in as part of that big offseason trade. Now in his 4th NFL season, Drew Lock.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Here's Walker to start the drive, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We started the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Graham has putted out all house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Hardman on the return. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Time to get our first look at one of the star faces of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes and his Kansas City offense. Really the gold standard among NFL offenses since he became the starter in 2018.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and it turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Open man downfield, that's Smith-Schuster.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Chiefs get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
This defense for the Chiefs, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
Exactly right about that. But they shouldn't be. When they're on that 10-0 losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Here's Hardman to return.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Called out a return of 38. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right.
Oh, he catches it off the tip. It wasn't even intended for him.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky rather than good. That was not even the intended receiver on that pass.
But still able to haul it in for the reception. Mahomes now on 1st down.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. So this game, Charles, you know, we talked about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So the defense has to stay stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll get this to the 24 and it's 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Locke. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And this passing game's offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
While the ultimate result was an incomplete pass, they sure look like a well-coached team because once he got outside of the pocket, the scramble rules come into effect. And a lot of the guys who ran deep routes, they come back closer to the line of scrimmage. And the running back usually runs a check down. He took it deep, and they gave it a big shot and came up unsuccessful.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down, that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that is caught for a touchdown to Kansas City. Juju Smith-Schuster with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chiefs have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. They're going to slow him down.
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. Now it's Mahomes again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked which probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Oh, that's true. You've said that before. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing now is Locke. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. And it's throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Locke going to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They can use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And take it right on the 30. Shifts by him. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Kansas City and Juju Smith-Schuster running out for another series. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense. He's getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Off the squib kick, he corrals it inside the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Off of play action. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to him.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Frank Clark in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Locke working out of the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, He's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Mahomes now on first down. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Touchdown!
The one thing that we know for sure, do not question the arm strength of Patrick Mahomes, one of the strongest around.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let him crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the two-point try. Mahomes will throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for two successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Off the squib kick, he corrals it inside the 25.
Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
On second down, it's Walker. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To throw in his lock. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And he's taken down inside the 30. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We've got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
That's complete to his... And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes.
He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete.
Past the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Travis Kelsey, 81 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to widen their lead in this first half.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield, and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Well, the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Chris Jones coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They look to throw. It's Locke. Eluding the pressure right. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Open receiver, that's Caden Smith, the tight end. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, good move. A good return there, 17 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. And trotting back out onto the field, Travis Kelce. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, 38 yards. And the Chiefs have taken a 6-touchdown lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Butker on for the PAT. Pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number 1, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number 2, if you are going to go for 2, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
Yeah, they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Block, and this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Block now to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. A big play there just before halftime. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up.
And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs will extend their lead here just before halftime. And Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Andy Reid never wanted to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means it'll have to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
A 2nd quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
But now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Locke. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Well, I think incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Here's Locke to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he is going to lose yardage here. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Some great games coming up on Sunday, highlighted by a 1 o'clock matchup in Miami. A good test for the Dolphins as they'll take on the always tough Green Bay Packers. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Denver Broncos. And then finally, time to unwind on Monday night. It'll be the Chargers and Colts from Indianapolis at 8:15 Eastern Time sharp. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half, and this tells the story right here. As a unit, negative yards passing through 2 quarters of play. That is something you almost never see. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts. As you can see the numbers there. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in this second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Kansas City and Juju Smith-Schuster running out for another series.
A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
69 yards.
And the Chiefs come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
That's a tough combination to defend. You know Patrick Mahomes has the big arm, and he's got the elusiveness and the speed. So even though you force him from the pocket, he's still dangerous.
Bad idea. In my opinion, do everything possible to him in and make him make the throws from right there in the center of it. And look, we know he's got the big arm. You just noted that. But when he gets outside, it puts so much stress on your defense, trying to locate where receivers are, make sure you're covering them, and he can throw the ball the length of the field. So you just tell the receiver, just keep going. He'll find it, and he did there.
The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Straight ahead, Walker. And
Boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Flushed out right. This is Smith with a grab. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the gun, it's Walker.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Frank Clark picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Locke exits on 4th down as Seattle sends out Jason Myers.
Myers' kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who's just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to him.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Barreling in for the sack, Shelby Harris.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
To throw, it's Mahomes.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And it's
this attempt, and the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Seahawks.
Now Locke going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
They'll toss this out right to Walker.
Fights forward for only about a yard after the 21.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Locke. Complete. Smith has it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
No escape for Locke, and he'll go down.
Frank Clark able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Shotgun snap to Locke. And pressure coming, and they got it once again.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Well, I wish this staff loved as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the 4th quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? That's what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at the 23.
Kansas City and Juju Smith-Schuster running out for another series.
They have to like what they got from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a first down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
84 yards rushing here for Edwards-Helaire It's a first down.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
And I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Right back to Edwards-Helaire on first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Play action. Now it's Mahomes.
Rolling to his left. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
42 yards.
And the Chiefs continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. Mahomes going to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Well, this is something that Pete Carroll should be pretty well familiar with. Remember when he told Jim Harbaugh after losing a ball game and Harbaugh went for 2 late against him, hey, what's your deal? It's the same situation here. Now, I'd kick the extra point, but I am reminded that plenty of coaches feel like it's not their job to worry about the other team. It's their job to worry about their own team. You have to stop us.
4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun. Lock. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun, it's Lock.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball down the numbers. There he goes. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
So a pretty wild turn of events there. Instead of a sure 3 points, it's 6 the other direction.
And if you're kicking in the NFL, that should be pretty much automatic, but I don't think that's on him at all. The protection broke down. That led to the block.
Here we go now as they will again try for 2.
Mahomes
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he will not make it to the goal line. It's his try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offense has spent a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Penny, the first down carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Locke. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Locke going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And he is just one reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so maybe he doesn't read the coverage correctly. Right now, though, they're in pretty good sync.
Taking it right down Broadway. And he goes diving to get as much as he can following a big gain. A nice little cherry on top there at the end. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Mahomes now on the option right. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he is going to have the Chiefs' 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offensive
defense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for Kansas City,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0.
And they'll get...
Like your energy, I don't like that. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. You an enemy. All them lies you telling, I can't let that be the end of me. No, probably cause your girl feeling me. It's a flag on the play, all these catching penalties. Look, I don't like your energy. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. Let's go. Don't make me jog your memory. I did upgrade, you didn't upgrade it. The world, how they forgetting me. Please make it make some sense to me. How you talking about the greatest, still ain't mention me. Them bands, I want the symphony. 15 in it, wasn't instantly. Lately I've been catching plays, it's like it's meant to be. I got rich in the pandemic, meant to be. Don't do too much, I keep it simple. You clout chasing, trying to make the people feel you. Boys need to slow it down, I'm talking real screw.